Wasn't that fortunate.
Well, good morning. We're ready to begin. If we can stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Shh. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning. Welcome to the November 5th, 2018 meeting for the Shawnee County Board of Commissioners.
Good thing we have two of them. This one's being a little, that's okay, go ahead. It's just kind of spitting and spotting.
It is a Monday, so.
It is. We're good.
So, good morning. My name is Kevin Cook. I serve as the chair. Joining me today is Commissioner Shelley Bueller. Good morning.
Good morning.
And Commissioner Bob Archer. Good morning.
Good morning.
Madam Clerk, if we can begin with our first item.
Okay, our first item is item number 2, unfinished business. Number 1, consider approval of request for a project budget of $53,715 and a sole source purchase from Easy Dock for replacement of the Lake Shawnee floating dock, and in addition to the South Boat Ramp dock for ADA kayak and canoe launch with funding from the excess funding, Parks and Recreation.
Good morning, Commissioners. John Knight, Parks and Recreation. I apologize I wasn't here last Monday. I understand you guys had some questions. Put this off until today. Probably the use of the excess funding is a confusing item. This is items that we were headed for to be funded for deferred maintenance. I've met with Betty Greiner a couple times on this. Be happy to answer any other questions you may have.
I think Commissioner Archer, you had some questions about the funding source and where it was coming from, and then also as to whether or not it fit within the definition of what we had defined for excess funds, being that we are adding the ADA access.
Yeah, and that's a good point. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Actually, we've got two funds that we've got money in. The excess fund for deferred maintenance, and then we've still got some COP money left over from the 2015 issue. Correct. Of COP funds. I did meet with John and with Betty. It was sort of gray to me if the deferred maintenance could be used for this whole project, because you're going to have some new pieces of capital equipment that are going to go on this piece. But after speaking with Betty and assurance from them, I understand now that it can be all from the deferred maintenance pot.
Okay.
So I will move to approve if there's no other discussion.
I'll second.
Okay. Motion by Commissioner Archer to adopt with a second from Commissioner Bueller. All in favor, say aye. All opposed, passes 3-0.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Our next item.
Item 3, consent agenda.
There's one item on the consent agenda.
Move to approve the consent agenda.
Motion to
Second.
approve by Commissioner Archer, second by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. All opposed, passes 3-0. Our next item.
Item 5, our 4, new business A, County Clerk. Number 1, consider all voucher payments.
The vouchers are totaling $939,444.02, and the majority of that amount is under pooled cash, $562,699.44, and a good portion of that is payroll. Also under county projects, Furniture Mall of Kansas totaling $42,279.40 is for carpet in the court divisions. And under detention facility, Shriner Construction for $5,325 is for removal and re-pour steps on the west side of the jail building. So there are no questions. I'll move approval.
Okay. Motion for approval by Commissioner Bueller.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye. All opposed, passes 3-0. Our next item.
There are no correction orders today. However, I did want you to know I certified the tax roll to the treasurer today. So we won't be having correction orders in maybe another week or so.
Okay.
Item B, corrections. Number 1, consider approval of request to prepare specifications and solicit bids for inmate and juvenile food service and commissary services and related technologies for the Shawnee County Department of Corrections.
Good morning, Commissioners. Brian Cole, Shawnee County Department of Corrections. This is a request to go out and to create and to submit requests for bids for both our food service and commissary services for the Department of Corrections. I want to let everybody know that, first of all, that we are very happy and excited about what the services that Airmark has provided for both food service and commissary here recently, but we also think that it's very fiscally responsible that we go out for bids and to be able to see what technology and other agencies and vendors have to offer. That we have found efficiencies by having both Airmark over both of our services, but we also know that if we limit our request for bids to just one company that can do both, that severely lowers the numbers of people that can put in for both, and we don't want to do that. If we do find efficiencies and it's the best to go with one vendor for both, that's what we'll come back to do, and we'll work closely with Betty, and we'll work closely with Jim Crowell in their office as well. But this is the contracts aren't up till next year, but this is a lengthy process for us to create both the specifications, to have the on-site bids, and also, if we do have to transition to somebody else, there usually is a good transition period of services. So, with that being said, I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
I think, Brian, this would be consistent with our policy that we've developed in audit finance of every other term going out for RFP, just to make sure that the market is still stable and that we are within a market price, and making sure that we're getting good services for the product.
Absolutely. It's about accountability and providing quality services and being responsible to the taxpayers and this type of services that we have been with Airmark over our food service. You know, I think it's responsible to say for a long time, but we did renew those contracts because they bought several different transitions of equipment for both the annex and the existing jail, which at that time was fiscally responsible to continue those. But we are at a position that we do need to go out and see what's out there, and yeah, it's about accountability and seeing what's out there and being responsible to our taxpayers.
Commissioners, any questions?
No. Agree. I'll move approval.
Motion for approval by Commissioner Bueller.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye. All opposed. Passes 3-0. Our next item.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Item C, Parks and Recreation, number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C-362-2018 with Joshua Lehman for payment of tuition and educational expenses in the amount of $1,134 for 3 credit hours of financial accounting at Washburn University.
Morning, Commissioners. Olivia Mayer, Parks and Recreation. This course relates to our current outcomes supervisor position, which entails tracking and analyzing the department's assets and operations, which impacts and interacts with our department's budgeting and procedures. I'd like to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions? I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion for approval by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. Opposed? Passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next item.
Item C2, consider approval of request to award the bid for the Lake Shawnee Dam Safety Inspection Report to Professional Engineering Consultants, PEC, at a cost of $4,795 from the operating budget, and authorization and execution of contract C-363-2017 for same.
Good morning, Commissioners. John Boyd, Parks and Recreation. We are requesting your approval of this contract for our state-required dam safety inspections. We did go out for RFP and submitted this to the Professional Selection Committee, and they approved this this contract.
Any questions for John?
Move to approve the contract.
I'll second.
Motion for approval by Commissioner Archer, second by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next item.
Item C3, consider approval of request to utilize the Noxious Weed Capital Outlay Fund for the purchase of the Cartograph OMS system and the hardware associated with it. Will cover over the course of a 2-year contract term at a cost of $46,626 for the software and a cost not to exceed $4,000 for hardware.
Good morning, Commissioners. John Boyd again, Parks and Recreation. This is to expand our cartograph system. If you have any detailed question, Josh Lehman, our outcomes supervisor, is here for the detailed questions.
I think the question I had is just as to the cost, the allocation, how this will fit within the weed department's budget. The weed department has a pretty tight budget, and this is a amount of $46,000, and how we would impact that into their budget.
Morning, Betty Griner, Director of Administrative Services. This request is to pay this money out of their capital outlay fund. By statute, any money left in their budget at the end of the year goes into a capital outlay fund for them to be used for equipment or software, or it's a pretty broad range of things they can use this money for. But we think this would be a very good use of those funds and there is sufficient money in that fund. So this would not hit their operating budget.
Okay, great. That was a question that I had.
So how will it benefit the weed department?
We'll upgrade their technology to be able to track their time, their locations, to be able to utilize that to do their year-end reports more efficiently. And it just manages the assets that they have with the staff. They'll have actual iPads in the field to be able to track where they're at, and they'll be able to do their paperwork at that point in time and submit it, and so it's technically not paperwork, but they would be able to submit their reports in the field.
John?
I might just add to that answer. Right now, we currently contract for several townships around, and I think we've come up with some very good estimates as to what we charge back to them. This will give us down to the dollar, so we'll know exactly what we're spending on the township, what county taxpayer funds are going to that. So it will really help us in future contract negotiations, too.
Okay, so will it also help in just acreage and the control of noxious weeds and tracking of all of that as well?
Absolutely, yes. Then what made this more possible was when we sat down with Public Works and Solid Waste, and all of the departments came together here in the last month to come together with all of this. So the entire county is beginning to use that same software.
I guess my other question is for maybe Josh. As we implement iPads and new technology into the weed department, training that Josh might be able to offer or assistance?
Josh Lehman, Parks and Recreation. When you approved the expansion project a couple weeks ago, one of the things we had planned was we were going to work with Cartograph to provide on-site training, but I would act as project manager and our internal trainer for all 4 county departments. Having gone through the system before, I've got a pretty good idea of what is coming up, what we've been through in the past, how we can streamline things. So throughout the course of the project, for all the departments involved, I will be as hands-on to make sure everything transitions as smoothly as possible.
Okay. Any questions additional?
I'll vote to approve.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Archer.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Our next item.
Item D, Sheriff's Office, number 1, acknowledge receipt of correspondence from Sheriff Jones regarding the purchase of a 2019 Dodge Ram Crew Cab 4-wheel drive truck to replace an animal control vehicle at a cost of $27,354.58 with funding from the 2018 budget.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tom Bronoff, Sheriff's Office, standing in for Captain Shane Hubler, who oversees our purchasing unit, but he's in a training day today. So I was told that we will be purchasing this vehicle off the state of Kansas contract as a replacement vehicle for one of our ACO trucks. So I'm going to answer any questions you might have.
Any questions? I'll move to acknowledge receipt.
Second.
Motion to acknowledge receipt by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0. Our next item.
Item D2, acknowledge receipt of correspondence from Sheriff Jones regarding the purchase of tires from Performance Tire and Wheel at a cost of $29,173.30 with funding from the 2018 budget.
Again, Tom Bronoff, Sheriff's Office. This purchase also will be off the state of Kansas contract for an inventory of vehicle tires, mainly for our patrol cars, since it's a new, I guess, contract for the state of Kansas. So answer any questions you might have.
Any questions?
I'll move to acknowledge receipt.
Second.
Motion to acknowledge receipt by Commissioner Archer, second by Commissioner Bueller. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? Passes 3-0.
All right, thanks, Commissioners.
Our next item.
Item 5, administrative communications.
This is an opportunity for any department head or member of the public to address the commission on any item. Judge Wilson, I understand that you have a guest with you.
Yes, I do. Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Evelyn Wilson. I'm Chief Judge of the 3rd Judicial District, and I'm pleased to announce that we have, starting today, our new court administrator, Lee Dawn Welch, and I know she will enjoy working with all of you.
All right, great.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's nice to meet you, and I think I'm scheduled to be here again on Thursday, so.
Great. Tell us a little bit about you and where you come from. Or?
I've been with the 12th Judicial District, which is 6 counties in north central Kansas, since 1993. I've been chief clerk there since 1999, and I'm really excited to start a new chapter of my life in Shawnee County.
Great. We look forward to it. We've worked closely with the courts as we come to remodeling and renovation
Absolutely.
and updating of our courts.
Yeah, I understand I'm in the middle of a project there, so.
Yes.
Welcome, yeah.
So you walked right into the middle
Absolutely.
of it. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
Glad to have
It's
you.
nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Commissioner.
Good morning, Commissioners. Angela Lewis. Today I'm on the behalf of the United Way Committee. If you weren't tempted on the way in, we hope we can tempt you on the way out with the United Way Bake Sale. The United Way campaign this year ran from October 22nd through November 9th, and we're trying to do a few different things than we've done in the years past. So please enjoy some treats out there for the United Way Bake Sale. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other administrative communications this morning? Commissioner Bueller, anything?
I appreciate the bake sales, though, for the milking of goats, I think is what we used to do for fundraisers. Remember? Yeah, bake sales are a lot friendlier. No,
I prefer bake sales.
I agree. Not that I don't have anything against goats, but yeah. But still. Just everybody get out to vote tomorrow. I wish everyone well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Commissioner Archer, anything?
Yeah, I also wanted to encourage everyone to vote tomorrow. This particular election reminded me of a quote from W.C. Fields. He said, "I never vote for anyone, I always vote against." Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Well, and on that positive note, I might note that there is no commission meeting on Monday, the 12th, due to Veterans Day, and there will be no meeting on November the 15th. That's when the Board of County Commissioners actually meets as the Board of County Canvassers to certify the election result. So we will not have any meeting next Thursday. We will still be in the courthouse, around the courthouse, if you need to contact us by phone or email. Except on Monday, we will be closed. But our next meeting after the 8th will be on the 19th. Madam Clerk, our next item.
Item 6, executive session.
There is not a need for an executive session. We are adjourned.